I'll talk for 4 to 5 minutes about certain principles which will clear a lot of questions. So I'll start with Vamshi, then you will have, Amit will take over the panel and have the question and answer.
So probably time for the HRs now. How many of you know what is Waptec Corporation? At least the students of JNTU. Yeah, I can see one because I picked the talents yesterday from this campus. Yeah, 5 to 6 of them. So how many of you know trains? How many of you seen a train? Not even a one, not even a single guy. Cool. Yeah, metros. Cool, great. So I work for a company which manufactures trains and metros. Okay, that is Waptec Corporation. And I lead the university relations and I pick the talents from all the premier institutes like JNTU and other organizations of IITs and NITs. And I've been in this industry and working with organizations from past 12 years. Been with renowned organizations of Dr. Reddy's, been with Waptec and Axino. And I'll take your questions at the end. It shows more, it gives more of light of what you need to do when you go for a campus hiring and how the candidates get picked up over there. Or what you need to do if you in the current hiring scenarios is what I want to take you guys through. So I named it as hiring trends, the new normal, the now normal specifically, and impact and preparing for the future. So usually we expect someone who's going to attack us probably on the borders of India. It's probably the way we expected is something in this way. The security forces, border forces, but unfortunately we got a different person who has been impacting us. At times I become nervous, so just bear with me. Okay, so something what we have seen is COVID, which was impacting us badly from past 2 years. There were deaths, there were decrease in your financials, job losses, people lost their incomes and all, and we were badly impacted on that. The next is, I want to scare you for some time. So these are the tough times ahead. You might be heard about the global recession which is coming up. People not getting hired. Most of the companies, the big chains, talk about Microsoft, Google, or even the Twitter, where there are a lot much of layoffs that are happening, right? So again, the GDP rates falling down, and even 5% of the employers, which happens where the hiring typically happens from July to October, 5% of the employers are not even hiring because to curtail on the costs and also to maintain the budgets, right? So 5% of the organizations have already stopped hiring, and unemployment rate in India is at 8.1% as on 1st of December. That is the unemployment rate in India. So, but it's not completely bad. India is poised for the growth. So China's loss can be India's gain. You would have seen like most of the companies' investments, which are close to 13.2 billion investments has happened in 2022 in India, right? So, and also the last line which talks about our GDP growth rate as well, which talks about 6.9% in FY 2023 and will remain one of the fastest growing major economies, says the World Bank. Why I'm pointing out on this is, specifically to tell you, there is lot much of investments which are going on in India. Never drop back where if you do not have an opportunity. Opportunity always knocks you, but the only thing is you need to be ready to open it. That's how. So what should your youngsters do in these tough times? Be calm and resilient. No one predicted about COVID. No one expected that we'll go back to a place where we work from homes. There are still organizations where people say work from home is really a challenge. But the COVID has told that the work from home is possible. So we have done which is not predicted at all. We were prepared. We have overcome on that. So being calm and coming up to that level is more required. The second is prioritize on security. Before the financial security, I want to talk about job security. The Gen Z, the guys of you, to be honest, these days the students are very picky, very choosy about the brands, and also more particularly about the compensations being given by the organizations. You can see the fancy numbers of 24 lakhs, 25 lakhs, 50 lakhs, 60 lakhs. Even I give a compensation of 20 lakhs for a graduate who is from a computer science, and I pay an around of 17 lakhs for a graduate who is from mechanical streams. Right, but again, those come with a cream of talent, to be honest. So I used to pick those talents from the premier institutes, as I was saying, from all of the NITs and IITs. And this year we have been even part of JNTU as well, but for a different program called internships. But Sricharan, I already picked the interns, so I do not have more now. So, job security is most required over to you guys. It's not, most of the people go around looking at the brand name. But join a product-based organization. Trust me, your job will be secure. Life sciences is second most important thing where the jobs are again secure. Okay? And improvise more on your skills. And the second point which I want to talk about is financial security. Recently, the CEO of Amazon was saying, don't invest, there is a lot much of global recession going to overcome. Right? So manage your financials properly. As a youngsters, these two are very prime for you. Third thing is invest in skills. When I say that I'm hiring a candidate for 24 lakhs or 20 lakhs or 15 lakhs, it's just not only a resume nor about the brand of the college that you carry. It's about the skill set that you guys carry in. The amount of investment that you go. If you ask me about Java, I'll tell you as an island near Bali. That's my knowledge in computers. So what I want to tell you is, invest rightly in your skills, which are more into digital and analytical, behavioral and leadership. Why I'm saying about behavioral and leadership is, most of the organizations have started a program called LEAD. Leadership, Excellency and Development Program. Okay? Where just not about your skill set, but how you lead in terms of behavior is more required. So that's about investment in skills about digital and analytical. And the next is on behavioral and leadership. So according to Forbes, so these are the 8 skills which every campus individual need to possess if you want to be successful in your life or in your career. First thing is adaptability and flexibility. Most of the guys, when I go for a campus placements, like say any of the universities, they say, Vamshi, I'm from I'm from mechanical background, but I'm more interested in computer science role. Can I get an internship in that? Or an electrical candidate or an ECE candidate also comes back and say, I'm more interested towards the software domain. Please, be adaptable to what you get. You have invested 4 years of experience or 4 years of time in your graduating. So be adaptable to that. And also when you get into an organization, you'll be coming up with different cultures, different people in the organization. Your job life is not as easy as what you see in your college life. So you need to be adaptable, you need to be flexible to that. Okay? The second thing is tech savviness. Okay? Until unless you are tech savvy, until unless you are not knowing about what is modern technologies, you'll definitely not crack through the interviews. Okay? The second one is creativity and innovation. Why do people offer an opportunity to you guys? You need to be more creative. Come out of the old methodologies, come out of the old processes, invent something new or talk something new and do that innovation and you'll be picked. I'll give you another example. When we look at your resumes, most of them say that we have done this project because our HOD has asked us to do this project. And I will ask him, what is the use of this project? Do you have any application in the external market? Trust me, 99.9% of the students do not have a visibility on that. There you lack it. Okay? So be more creative, innovative and answer why the project has been done. What is the outcome of those projects to the interviewers clearly. So even if you have a less CGPA of marks, this will win the hearts of the people. The next one is on data literacy. Data is the thing which you need to project it. When you know something, until unless you project it, you will not be able to get through. Second thing is critical thinking. Think out of the box. Don't do the regular activities of what the other normal does. Think out of the box. That is more required. Of course, digital and coding skills. COVID has proved you can work from anywhere. So artificial intelligence, data science, data mining, these are the most important ones to get a progressive career. And you know which are the highest paid jobs in the past 2 years? Any idea? It's not the HR, nor about the finance or anything. It's more on the data engineering. The next piece is about leadership behaviors. Nothing to talk about it, and the word defines on it. The next one is emotional intelligence. You should be able to balance the emotional intelligence, the EQ quotient in you guys, so that you'll be able to make the decisions. So decision making, analytical reasoning, these are the more important things. Even from my organization, we conduct an aptitude test, which includes 20 marks for your reasoning and analytical skills. So those are more required. So this is what which I want to communicate in a short span of 5 minutes. I would have stammered in between, But something which I want to communicate to the younger generation is these 6 aspects so that you get success in your career. I hope this will help you guys, and I'll pass on the mic to the panel, and I'll be part of the panel, and I'll be open to take your questions, anything. Yeah, thank you.
So, how many of you think that your first job is important?
Check.
All of you. So, don't you think first job is like first love? Do you agree? So, what do you think if you get some suggestions from our industry experts on how to get your first job? So, the panelists, I would like to give you suggestions or advice on how to find or land a first job. So for this young talent.
Before we do that, let's introduce ourselves. I'm Sree Lata Shankar. I come with about 2 decades of experience, over 2 decades of experience. I've worked in various industries, ITES, telecom and banking. Along with this, I also teach HR in MBA colleges. I conduct soft skill workshops for colleges such as yours, engineering colleges, management colleges and corporate companies. I'm a content writer. I'm a poet as well. I also have a creative side apart from poetry. I do tango painting, block printing, dye and pottery. I have an adventurous side to me as well. I've done Tarzan swing, zip lining, paragliding, bungee jumping. I hope to do a lot more. Why I say this about myself is not only to let you all know that you can multitask. You will have to build a lot of skills as a student, as a corporate professional when you enter the corporate world. So try and build as much skills as possible. You all are young. I'm much older than you. I'm doing my 3rd postgraduate now. I'm doing my MA journalism, and hopefully will do my PhD very soon. So build in a lot of skills. Like Vamshi said, there's the skills part. You will have to build a lot of skills, and that is what is going to set you apart from another candidate or another employee or another student. Sridhar can introduce himself, and Vamshi, you all know, then we can answer Amit's questions.
Good evening, everybody. With all due respect, can I talk in Telugu? That does not mean that I don't know English, but I don't want to talk in English. So, yes, my name is Sridhar. I'm a postgraduate in economics from Moscow University, and I've done my PG diploma in management, HR management from IIM Lucknow. And I've done, I've been with top industries to medium-sized, to a startup, to a place where there's nobody. I was the first employee, then we moved to 1600, 1700. So I've got at about 23 years of experience as of now, and all through in HR. The day I stopped my course, next day I joined an organization, and my journey in HR is till date. That's all. That's my small.
First job.
So I'll take the question from you, Amit. The first job that you would need, apart from your degree, whichever course that you're doing, whichever stream that you're doing, ECE, EEE, computer science, mechanical, civil, whatever you all are doing, is to not have backlogs, to clear your exams with a good score. I repeat, to clear your exams with a good score. That's very, very important. Sridhar will agree with me. Both of us have 50 years of experience put together. Course gives you one part of your, stepping stone towards the corporate life, but it's your scores which will, marks, which will really give you that push to the door for the job. Second is build a lot of skills. Do not tell me that I don't have time. I come off college at 9:30, go back home at 6:30. I don't know. We still have 24 hours. There's plenty of time. You will have to build and accumulate a lot of skills, manage your time effectively, build a lot of soft skills as well. I've conducted about 20,000 interviews till date. The all of you engineering students come with a lot of knowledge, but you don't have these soft skills. You are not able to crack the interviews. So build a lot of soft skills and go with an open mind. Don't go with a closed mind. Go with an open mind. All of you want to land up in the Microsofts and IBMs. It's okay to get a medium level company. What is important is to get a job and not look at the brands. Point one. Point two is, if your classmate is getting about 5 lakhs, 10 lakhs, and you're not able to get that, it's okay not to get that money. It's more important to get a job. You will earn the money later. I'll conclude. I'll give it on to Sridhar as what you should not aim or what you should not chase. I wouldn't say aim, but what you should not chase is the money and designation. Money and designation will come. What is important is to crack your interview with a good score at your college and build your soft skills and build your technical skills.
Yes, I better stand. I can't sit and talk. I'm sorry. Yeah, each one of, I think I might have done in my life, in 23 years, okay, 75,000 people I might have met in different colleges across the globe. There's no difference between freshers. I'll tell you, last week we had to hire 60,000 people in the US and we could do in 2 weeks. Nobody will go there. అక్కడికి వెళ్ళి నాకు ఒక కెరియర్ని నేను డెవలప్ చేసుకోవాలి అని మాత్రం ఎవ్వరు కూడా ఇంటర్వ్యూ టేబుల్కి రారు. నా ఫ్రెండ్కి జాబ్ వచ్చింది, నాకు రావాలి. నా ఫ్రెండ్కి 90% వచ్చింది, నాకు 95% రావాలి. ఇలాంటి కాంపిటీషన్ వద్దు. When you are going to your first job, that means that is your career, right? You all agree with me? How many of you are with me saying that, I want to shape my career with my first job, right? So each one of you, మీరు ఎంతమంది ఉన్నారు, 1000 మంది ఉండొచ్చు, 500, 400, 300, how many ever you are here, each one of you have got your own strength. Yes or no? Yes, no? Yes. Right? So our strength మీరు ఐడెంటిఫై చేసి, if you are going to the interview table like these, we are all HRs, right? They come and they talk to us with that confidence, like just now ma'am told, right? Elanti confidence meeku undali, the kind of skills you develop there. Skills in the sense that confidence should be seen in your face. Every HR knows that fresher doesn't know anything. Like Vamshi was saying that, they can't explain their project work, right? Which is done by you, luckily. సో ప్రాబ్లం ఏంటి అంటే ఆ స్ట్రెంగ్త్ని మనం ఐడెంటిఫై చేయము, కంపేర్ చేస్తాము, ఇమిటేట్ చేస్తాము, వెళ్తాం ఇంటర్వ్యూ రూమ్. 1000 మంది వచ్చి మళ్ళీ మాట్లాడరు. అది యాక్చువల్ ఇది. సో వాట్ వీ హ్యావ్ టు డూ ఈస్ ఎవ్రీబడి విల్ గెట్ ఎ జాబ్. జాబ్స్ తక్కువ లేవు. ఫస్ట్ జాబ్ రావాలంటే నేను కెరియర్ని డెవలప్ చేసుకోవాలని వెళ్ళాలి. నేను ఏంటి అన్నది నేను తెలుసుకోవాలి ఫస్ట్. డోంట్ కంపేర్ విత్ యువర్ ఫ్రెండ్స్. ఎగ్జామ్లో అయితే మంచిగా చీటింగ్కి ఫ్రెండ్స్ చూపిస్తారు కాబట్టి పాస్ అయిపోతాము. కానీ అక్కడ పాస్ అవ్వాలంటే మనం ప్రూవ్ చేయాలి. మనం ప్రూవ్ చేయాలంటే వీ హ్యావ్ టు బీ అవర్ ఓన్ సెల్ఫ్, రైట్? ప్లీజ్ కన్సిడర్ దాట్. అది ఉంటే ఆ రోజు మళ్ళీ నన్ను వచ్చి అడిగాను జాబ్ రాకపోతే. I can vouch on it. I see so many freshers are scared getting into the interview room and cannot introduce themselves. అది ఎందుకు అంటే ప్రతి ఒక్కళ్ళు ఒక కోర్స్కి వెళ్తారు, ఇంట్రొడక్షన్ ఎట్లా చేయాలి అని. ఇంట్రొడక్షన్ ఈజ్ యువర్ సెల్ఫ్ అండ్ దే ఆర్ నాట్ ఎక్స్పెక్టింగ్ యువర్ నేమ్ ఆర్ యువర్ కాలేజ్ ఆర్ యువర్ మార్క్స్. వాళ్ళు అవేమి చూడరు. మీ కెరియర్ ఏంటి, మీ ఆస్పిరేషన్ ఏంటి, మీకు అసలు ఏం నేర్చుకున్నారు, మీరు ఏం అవ్వాలనుకుంటున్నారు. ఐ డోంట్ నో హౌ మెనీ ఆఫ్ యూ నో వాట్ యూ వాంట్ టు బికమ్ ఇన్ ది నెక్స్ట్ 3-4 years. Only thing is you want to land up, as she said, whether it is Microsoft or IBM or Capgemini or whatever companies we have, right? There are plenty of companies in the world where everybody gets a job. But who is getting a job? Who is confident, who is career oriented, like he said, who are adaptable, who are flexible, and above all, who have that perseverance of taking that kind of, work what they get. Acceptance chala avasaramu. మీకు ఎలాంటి జాబ్ ఇచ్చినా కూడా నేను యాక్సెప్ట్ చేయాలి అనేది ఉంటే కనుక యూ కెన్ గో. I've seen so many civil engineers, they say that Sridhar, civil engineering is no joke, boys and girls. Mechanical engineering is no joke. Right? Life is not with computer science, please. Computer science is just an engineering to me. You know, in our organization we have hired 12,000 people. Out of 12,000 people, 875 people are from mechanical and ECE backgrounds. And they fared extremely well compared to computer science people. I mean, I should say in a very raw way, in Telugu, oka chetta idea anamata lopala. Then computer science cheyaledu panikiranu ani. Ante ippudu etla ayipoyindante AP Telangana first engineering aithe nu manishi, engineering doctor aithene vallu great. Inga vere vasa lene levu life lo. ఇప్పుడు ఎట్లా అంటే కంప్యూటర్ సైన్స్ గ్రాడ్యుయేట్ అయితేనే వాడు బెస్ట్ ఇంజనీర్, వాడిని ఇంజనీర్ అంటున్నారు. దెన్ వాట్ హ్యాపన్స్ టు ఆల్ దిస్ L&T అండ్ ఆల్ బిల్స్ మనం చూస్తున్నాం కదా. సో డోంట్ లుక్ అట్ ది criteria, whatever the stream you are studying, but you want to get into computer science, learn those skills and get into that. But that does not mean that ECE, civil, mechanical or other streams don't have jobs. అప్పుడు ఏమి ఉండదు. వరల్డ్లో ఎట్లుంటుందంటే ఇప్పుడు మీరు అందరు కంప్యూటర్ ట్యాబ్స్ పెట్టుకుంటారు కదా, అరే ఇక్కడ ఒక రోడ్ ఉంది, AI చూసుకుని ఇక్కడ రోడ్ వెళ్ళిపోదాం అనుకుంటారు. ఇప్పుడు అవే వస్తున్నాయి, ఇక్కడ ముందు ఏదో పెట్టుకుంటారు, నాకు ఐ డోంట్ నో వాట్ ఈస్ దట్. VR, ఓకే, ఆ VR ఒకటి పెట్టుకుని దే ఫీల్ దట్ దే ఆర్ దేర్, బట్ దట్స్ ఓన్లీ ఏ ఫీలింగ్, రైట్? యు ఆర్ నాట్ ఎక్స్పీరియన్సింగ్ ఇట్. దెర్ ఇస్ అ హ్యూజ్ డిఫరెన్స్ బిట్వీన్ దోస్ టూ, రైట్? నేను ప్లేన్ ఎక్కుతాను అంటే వెళ్ళి ప్లేన్లో ఎక్కినట్టు అన్నీ ఉన్నాయి మీకు. ఇవన్నీ ఏంటంటే దాని ఏమంటారు, ఐ డోంట్ నో వాట్ టు కాల్. But you know, but I'm telling you, your confidence, this will bring you to the table and that will be your first job and that will be your best job. I think I've taken so much of time, but I wanted to tell you, sorry.
So my answer is, I had a passion. So literally, నేను ఒక resume పట్టుకొని హైటెక్ సిటీ చుట్టూ తిరిగాను. So that was my first experience. To add on to what ma'am and sir was saying, so I had that confidence, I had that passion, and that brought me my first job. Over to you.
I have not even seen you. So that is the first impression or the first know-how about you. So it is pretty vital to build a good resume. Now you may ask me this question saying, ma'am, I don't have experience, so what do I write in the CV? I can go on for another lecture, but I will keep it short. You will have to ensure that there's no multicolors in your CV. Point 1, I repeat, no multicolors, it's going to be just black. You will have to have the same font. I'm giving you a lot of technical inputs over here. You'll have to, across the CV, it is 1 page, 2 pages, you will have to keep the same font. I will suggest Arial and Times New Roman. Don't have any other flowery fonts. Second is the font size should be either 11 or 12. And it is very important to construct your CV stepwise. I repeat, construct your CV stepwise. So you will have to have your name, address, phone number, email ID, followed by your education experience, your schooling. If you have scores, I'll take a little 1 or 2 minutes on it. If you've got scores which is 65, 70, 75 across from your 10th class till the degree final, that's your engineering final, mention it. If you got 40% and then jump to 80%, then jump to fallen down to 35%, don't mention your marks in the CV. You will anyway tell the interviewer at the point of interview. So don't mention the CV marks, because that's the first impression. Then I say, okay, he's jumped from 40% to 80%, which is fantastic, and then jumped down to 35%. I don't want to see this candidate anymore. So that's the impression that I will already have of the individual. So education experience, since you don't have the experience in terms of working, you will have to project your projects. What are the projects you've done in terms of the title, the duration, what is the project? Like Vamshi mentioned, you will have to not just write the flowery aspect or the description of the project, you will have to explain it during the interview. So you will have to have hands-on experience of the project. And believe me, I may be in HR, I can ask you 10,000 questions on the project, though I don't know anything technology. I don't understand technology at all, but I can ask you 10,000 questions. So you will have to analyze and understand that the interviewer is much smarter than you. So then the next part will be your projects. The next after that will be your hobbies. Now in the hobbies, I've got this fantastic responses saying, I've learned karate, I've learned dancing, I've learned painting. Oh, fantastic. But what do you know? What karate, what did you do in karate? What did you learn in Bharatanatyam or Kuchipudi or painting? He would not have even caught a painting brush, or he would have not or she would not have learned anything in Kuchipudi or Bharatanatyam. If you're mentioning it in the CV, if it is your hobbies, please ensure that you've learned Bharatanatyam, painting, karate at least for a year or 2 years. Because somebody who's like me, who understands little bit of karate, a lot of dance, Bharatanatyam and Kuchipudi, I'm going to ask you various questions. So if you have a hobby, and it's not a hobby like you've done it for 3 days. A hobby is something which you've really worked on it. Don't say my sister learned dance, so I thought I saw her learning dance and I thought I know dance. That doesn't make it your hobby. So understand what's a hobby. If you have learned it, only then put it on your CV. Activities can be, or activities, or sports activities for that matter. If you have got any awards, your first award, second award, gold medal, silver medal, bronze medal, only then mention it in the CV. If you got certificates, don't mention it in the CV. If you've just participated and got participation certificate, please don't mention it. If you've held or taken part of inter-college competitions, inter-school competitions, won a prize, only then mention it. Next part is in terms of curricular activities, like you organized this event, you've been the organizer, you've been the planner, please mention it. So you should have put it to summarize the whole aspect of what I just said, is you should have a crisp CV. Don't put a lot of junk. You should have a crisp CV which I will see and say, okay, this boy or this girl is, I would want to see her and interview her. That should be your first stepping stone towards the interview. So it's very important to have a crisp, neatly done CV without any frills. When I say frills, is no junk at all. If you've learned something, only then put it, and go with an open mind like I mentioned to you. Go with a mind where, I will take another 30 seconds, Amit. Please, one more thing before the CV aspect is when you go for the interview, be on time for the interview. And when your interview is at 10 o'clock, you should be at the interview office, not the building. For example, Cyber Gateway has 15-20 offices. Then you'll have your security, you'll have 10 floors, you'll have the lift walking in, coming down to your 0 floor some 15 minutes later. So you will have to be at the security gate at least by 9:30 if you have an interview at 10 o'clock. There is no way that you will be late for the interview. You will have to be at the premises of Microsoft by 9:45, and that should be the aim. It's very important to be attired properly. I will describe it in detail and take another 15 seconds. As for the boys, you will have to go in formal shirts, trousers, intact shirts and shoes. With intact shirt and formal shoes. For the ladies, you can wear any clothes, you can wear any color, but you should ensure that you don't have frills, too many sequins, too many chunkies, too many mirror work. You are not going for a party, you are going for an interview. Be minimally dressed, be smartly dressed, be trendily dressed. You will have to be on time, you will have to be well attired, you will have to be confident, you will have to know what the company is doing about, so do your research about the company. There is some, like, you may know Microsoft and IBM, you may not know a company called Smart IMS. So you will have to do a research about the company, and don't, when the interviewer says, what do you know about my company? Don't give the answer saying, sir, I don't have time. That's the most dumbest answer. So you will have to do research of the company, the products that they're doing, the customers, the nature of work, and then go with an open mind. Like Sridhar said, nobody else is your competitor except you yourself. So don't compete with somebody, aspire to learn from somebody, but don't compete with anybody.
Thank you. Thank you. Right. So Google was mentioned in the panel and it was very good. Yeah. I think Suraj will make me a brand ambassador for Rage Room. Thank you, Sridhar Garu. Thank you, ma'am. Thanks a lot. Thanks for bearing us. It was a big deal. Yeah. Thank you, Sridhar.